Hello everyone, it's Philip from the Conservative News Canada channel. Today's video will be on my thoughts, what's going on with the Canadian gun laws, Canadian firearms situation. So based on another gun control video, and we know we all love them, I know you all love them, not, but this will try to be informative on my take on something going on now. Been news a lot last couple weeks, many different sources I'm getting news from, and it's not looking good right now for some firearms owners out there. So we're going to try to talk about that a little bit. Um, but I'm going to say this video. I'm going to talk about the reclassifications of a couple firearms that has been brought to my attention. We'll talk about some changes I'd like to see. Actually, more like fixes to this problem. Talk about the authorization to carry permits. Basically, concealed carry, concealed carry permit. So we're going to talk about that, and I don't really know. This will take us into all sorts of weird and wonderful places when it comes to firearms. So, okay, we're going to start off with in National Post yesterday. Friend sent me a link to a National Post article from, I think it was Matt something. Sorry if you're watching this, Matt. I'm sorry I didn't get your last name. But he basically is talking about the Army Jaeger AP-80 rifle, 22 caliber rifle, and the Walther G22 rifle. Both the 20 caliber rifles, as far as I know, they're both 20 calibers, 20 caliber long rifle. And they're being classified as prohibited by the RCMP. Alright, okay. Little issue with that. Isn't the RCMP tasked with enforcing the firearms laws in Canada? Yes, they are. I mean, it's funny. Just before I found this link, I was actually talking to a member of the Conservative Party of Canada, one of their staffers, about asking, basically doing, I guess, an informal survey on the long gun registry, the this crime bill type of those things. I gave him an honest answer on both issues, and so you know what? There's a couple things with the crime bill. There's a couple things I'm not really too fond of. Don't really like too much. Doesn't seem strong enough or whatever. And I gave him a reason why. For each part, I didn't agree with. For what I know it's in the crime bill. I don't know what's fully in the crime bill. I know there's two parts that are kind of iffy to me, and I said those are the two parts that are iffy with me. But with the long gun registry, I said I fully agree getting rid of it. Rid of the records, everything. It completely destroyed, dismantled, burnt, shredded, mashed, burnt again, etc., etc., etc. Make sure it's destroyed for obvious reasons. But it doesn't do nothing to help prevent crime, or solve any crimes. Tell you where a firearm of that type is registered. Who owns it? Who's a registered owner in the area, so you can talk to them. But it doesn't solve crime. It can lead to solving the crime. It doesn't actually solve the crime, as what the Liberals stated. So I gave him an assessment of it and what I thought. And it actually goes, a lot of it we're talking in this video today is actually part of what our conversation was on the phone with the staffer, my staffer. I'm not going to mention his name. We chatted. I told him about this channel. I told him about the WordPress account, blog for Conservative News, where I have a little bit of gun control. I talk a little bit of gun control and stuff in states and all that. But so let's go on the reclassification of the firearms. What is the problem with our reclassifying firearms? Well, I already said this. They're law enforcement agent tasked, charged with enforcing firearms laws in the Firearm Law Act in Canada. So they're enforcing the law and they're making the law. That's kind of a head scratcher in my head scratcher. It's conflict of interest. Law enforcement should not be making laws. It's like the SS, the German SS, Nazi SS. Okay, making the rules as they go along, or Stalin making the rules as they go along, or Mao Chan making, or Chairman Mao making rules as it goes, or a king or queen making the rules as they go. That's undemocratic. That's basically leads to tyranny and oppression right there. Um, I forget who said this, but I remember a quote: "Freedom is often paid in a river of blood." I forget who said that, or I just made that up. Who knows? Uh, Tyranny, liberty is only get. A few quotes out there. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but there's a few quotes out there from Ben Franklin, Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, James Madison, and a few other of the founding fathers and Minutemen. Okay, I said Minutemen, right? Yeah, some of you probably say, what's a Minuteman? Well, a Minuteman is an old term from around the Revolutionary War in the States and so on. That they're ready to go within a minute. Ready, geared up, ready out the door, ready to go. Just help do something. Um, that's what a Minuteman is, far as I know. Okay. Now, right now, our team is trying to reclassify two firearms: Army Jaeger AP-80 rifle, 22 caliber, semi-automatic rifle. Why? Why for that one? Well, it looks like the AK-47, so they're banning it based on appearance, not on any other technical details about it. Okay, generally speaking, any firearm that's out there, any semi-automatic firearm out there, can be made into a fully automatic firearm. Just about any one of them. So, based on that point, it made fully automatic. Well, we won't have any semi-automatic firearms in Canada. We won't prohibit it. Doesn't that? I guess that should make people think. Okay. But does it make any sense that we ban firearms? You ban firearms, at least a tyranny, at least a dictatorship. Okay, all these dictators or tyrants, guess what? They all support one thing: gun control. Being the only ones armed. China, 1930s Germany, England, Ireland, Australia now. A lot of countries are against firearm ownership. U.S. is has probably some of the best firearms laws in the Western world. Somalia, Africa, they have the absolute best worldwide. But Western-wise, the U.S. is probably the best for it. So I mean, how can we fix it? Actually, you know what? Stop. Hold that thought. The other firearm I was talking about, the Walther G22. Why is that one being reclassified as prohibited? Its design. It's a bullpup design, like the Norinco T97 rifle. Okay, it just because it looks scary as they're reclassified. They're not looking at technical aspects of the firearms to determine that. I mean, everybody says, "Oh, you don't need a segment on that rifle go hunting, or there'll be no meat left, or whatever." Blah 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 blah. Okay. 22 rifles, semi-automatic, bolt action, pump action, lever action, blah blah blah. They can be used hunting. A 223 environment can be used hunting small game, like wolves, foxes, coyotes, stuff like that. Great little rifle. It's a varmint gun, varmint round, and a great target round. Bigger game like deer, bear, moose, etc., etc. You want something more oomph, a bit more dropping power. Like you want a 308, 338, 454, 4070. You want something with a lot of punch when it hits. There's a lot of wallop when it hits the target, when it hits the animal, the target. Uh, so, but most people like, okay, I'm gonna talk about the AK-47 hunting rifles. This 7.62 by 39 round, which is used by the AK-47, the SKS, the Mosin and Nagants, I believe, as well as the Mosin and Nagant rifles. They'll use the same rifle round, 7.62 by 39 millimeter. It's a low power round compared to the rifle you would like the rounds you'd find in your Remington 700s. Your basically your hunting rifle, hunting rounds. They're weak. They're not as powerful as your average hunting round. Okay. They don't pack as much of a punch. They pack more punch than a 2.33 or 5.56 round, but they still don't punch as much as a hunting round, hunting cartridge, power hunting round. Okay, that's kind of a difficult situation. Is how do you know? Okay, a lot of the round people use for their SKSs, Mosin Nagants, AK-47s, they're military surplus rounds. They're Russian or Bulgarian or wherever the rounds are manufactured. They're using surplus ammunition that are 30, 40, 50 years old. But how can people can probably ask, how can you use a bullet that's 50 years old or a cartridge that's 50 years old? They're sealed. There's little tuna cans, or they're in a sealed container. They're sealed. They're not. Nothing's wrong with the rounds. They're perfectly fine. But do I think it's a good idea to classify firearms based on appearance? No, it's not. I say there should be really two categories. Your everything that's not select fire, and your select fire your select fire machine guns. Okay, so that basically will bring you in your one category. You can have your Glock 18 select fire, but if it's sold as a semi-automatic, an MP5 semi-automatic, MP5 semi-automatic, Uzi semi-automatic, Mac 10 semi-automatic, Mac 11 or whatever it's called, whatever it is, that can be legally sold. If it's modified to fully automatic, it's therefore illegal, and you should be held liable for obvious reasons. Owning a firearm not in your license, modified a firearm in a certain way. I believe you should be able to modify your trigger, cycle rate. Let's say for semi-automatic, you want boom, you want to pull. It's as much as your finger. This is what makes the semi-automatic truly appear to be automatic. Okay, there's been stories about AR-15. Stories go on AR-15 that goes runaway. Pulls trigger once, 5-6 bolt rounds fly out, shoot, fire. Okay, old rifle, worn out parts, whatever. It's just gonna go do that. Worn out trigger components. Okay, you don't know it until it does it. If it's worn out to that point. You clean it, you do that. Sometimes it's just you bring it to gunsmith, they'll do the work on it for you. The owner of the firearm was charged and then it's prison. Was in one to prison. I think this is somewhere, I forget where it was now, but this happened not too long, a couple years ago. On the what was I gonna say? Like concealed carry in Canada, we have what's known as an ATC permit, which basically is only issued to certain people, high-level government officials, security guards, armed security guards, natural resource personnel, a few others. People are up north might have it. Uh, why is it? Because the Liberal government forced RCMP to promise them not to issue to every average Jane and Joe, every Tom, Dick, and Jane out there that wanted it. Because basically, as the laws stand now, you have permission to own the firearms, but you're a criminal because you own firearms. That seems ass backwards. To me, it does anyway, so it's weird. It's screwed up, in my opinion. Does I own a firearm? I'm a criminal. No, should be like that. There's the guys who don't have the proper credentials to own it are the criminals. I don't own a firearm yet. Working on it. Okay. What else? I mean, in the states like New York, California, New Jersey, a couple others, that have very liberal gun laws, are there's higher rates of violent crime on street level crime. Places like Oklahoma, Arizona, Texas, Florida, Vermont, Utah, etc., etc. A lot of these places, Alaska, the crime rates, violent crime rates, are very low. Crime rate may be high in that state, but you have to literally break the numbers down. What type of crime? Okay, if it's 13 per every 100,000 people, okay, there's 13 crimes reported for every 8,000 people, or rate, or whatever. 30% or 8,000 people, or however it works. You have to break that down further to get the actual proper fish. Oh, there's this many murders. How many of those murders, homicides, were committed with a firearm, or with a knife, or with a baseball bat, or with a golf club, or with what? A pillow, poisoning, strangulation, etc. I mean, those are suicides, or whatever. You can't look at the total number and say, "Oh, guns are the reason for crime rates high." Gun crime is the guns are making these crime rates so high, or whatever. That makes no sense. But how come last time I checked, I think Utah was at 1.3. New York was, I think, what, 13 or 14 per 100,000. Georgia was at 5.6. New Jersey was at like 11. Vermont was like a point 0.8. Arizona is a 1.5 or 2. But these are older numbers. I'm not sure. I have to look at the numbers again. Look up the current numbers still, but it's. But you know what? The numbers probably, I don't think will change that much. Okay. I mean, I've seen a lot more cases, hearing a lot more cases of concealed carry permit holders actually using their firearms, their carry firearm, and it actually saved their life. One guy in Florida not long ago was shot 4 times, survived after he brought his carry pistol out and opened fire on the would-be assailants who were trying to rob him in his own driveway, pretty much in the parking lot of his own building where he lived in Florida, in Jacksonville, I believe. Okay. Another story. I forget where it is. I think it's somewhere in the northwest part of the state, northwest. Um, a woman owns one of these coffee stands, and little coffee stand that people go. A local sheriff just drove by, picked up his coffee, was going. After that, she actually, it was after Christmas. Her husband bought her a Caltech PF9 pistol, I believe it was. The 9mm pistol for Christmas. After Christmas, you get back. She had her pistol. She loaded it up. She did her thing, put it close by, and this guy comes up, doesn't say nothing, pulls out, looks like a Walther P38, P380 pistol, points in her face. The woman, coffee shop owner, the person just got it, basically does whatever, goes like making like she's getting the money and all that, but instead she grabs her carry pistol, points in his face. The guy basically is looking at her like, what the fuck? He's actually doped out on speed or crank or whatever it was, or meth or whatever. He basically walked away. Her friend, that sheriff's deputy already picked up his coffee, was on his way to work, was still in the area. He basically turned around, caught the fuck nut, arrested on the spot. He still had the firearm in his pocket. Okay? Chalk up for the good guys. Recently, actually in Oklahoma, a young mother and her 3-month-old son house was invaded, was attacked. She was basically, people trying to break in her house. When one guy walked through the door, she put one shotgun blast to the center of mass, or the guy's chest, where he died instantly from the shotgun blast. His accomplice ran off. All the while, she gave her son a bottle, grabbed the shotgun, grabbed a pistol, called 911. Police arrived shortly after she shot the bastard. Okay? Chalk another one up for good guys. A general store, a shopkeeper, who just got home from work, was robbed. Somebody tried to break into his house. He had a small little pistol, whatever it was. He saw the guy in his house, broke into his house, shot him. I believe he wounded him or whatever. Another one up for good guys. Gentleman in pawn shop owner in Georgia, I believe. Another case of this. This guy comes in to rob his store with a knife. He's already in high alert. The warning bells went off. He's in yellow alert, so he's alert. He already has his pistol in his hand. Gets his pistol out, puts it on his back. I charged at him. Pop, 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 pop. Okay? Another case where a former sheriff's deputy from the state, another area, was home sleeping. Somebody breaks into his house. He grabs his little 410 shotgun, catches the burglar in the eye. The burglar's stunned that somebody's actually home. He tries to get away. He knocked the former sheriff's deputy, who is now a real estate agent, butt whipped the guy to the ground, detained him till law enforcement arrived to pick him up. Another one to the good guys. Okay? See? Concealed carry. It helps. It does save lives. It doesn't take lives. It saves lots of lives. Good people's lives. I don't care for the criminals that you bring something else. You got what you deserve. Sorry to say. What else? It's kind of weird. But I'm gonna do a hypothetical. Okay, let's say you're at a shopping mall. I'm big on hypotheticals. You're walking to a shopping mall. Let's say Yorkdale, Eaton Center, Upper Canada Mall, West Edmonton Mall, etc., etc. Pretty much any shopping mall. Excuse me. You walk in, you hear a bang, but you hear gunfire. You're unarmed, so you try to get out. Before you do, you get shot. Can't do nothing. You're a statistic now. If you're armed, if you had a concealed carry or officer carry permit, and you get your wife and kids out, but you're going back in to get more people out. If the shooter The gunman's coming towards you. Do you shoot or don't you? What's behind him? Is your round a Does your round that your self-defense round over penetrate? Questions. How well trained are you? Another question. Okay, I agree. We should have open carry, concealed carry allowed in Canada, and you must have be certified, recertified every 6 months. Just pass the evaluation every 6 months. Shooting evaluation, skill evaluation every 6 months. Initial training includes defensive firearm use, identify friend foe, um, defensive firearms tactics, carry methods, the law in your area. Cover all those things in the training. Which part of your research, your evaluation process, you have to sit through a quick course, just a refresher. But that's done every 12 months. The refresher course done every 12 months. It doesn't affect your certification, your permit. It's just there for to brush up on the information in case any information is changed. You'll still have to take the course. Process requirements. The practice at least twice a month at the minimum. So every couple of weeks, go to the range. Just fire 100, 200 rounds off. Learn that, practice, stuff like that. Okay, got two parts. Laws that are changed. The classification process parts of it I would change to have two, as I said before. Everything that's semi-automatic, bolt, revolver, etc., etc., shotgun, all shotguns that are semi-automatic or pump action, or manual action or semi-automatic. Our one category includes pistols, all pistols. Doesn't matter barrel length or whatever, they're all in there. And your automatic slug fire category, which is your Glock 18s, your military versions, military law enforcement versions, the M16, AR-15s, etc., etc., etc. Which also include the machine guns like the Browning M2 Deuce, Ma Deuce, MG42s, etc., etc., etc. That's about it on that one. Let's say the other part. I think we're actually done for this. Actually did it in under 30 minutes. So, any questions, comments, turns, to get in touch with me, guys. So, drop me a line, drop me a message, comment on the video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.